Good morning. This is my reflection video for Nurse FXP 4900 Capstone. My name is Dana Germana. Today I will have the pleasure of discussing my capstone intervention and also reflect on what I've learned in the last few months at Capella while working on my BSN. I will be looking at my notes while I'm recording. My capstone project focused on smoking cessation. The goals for my patients would be to consider quitting or quit. We discussed the many resources available to people wanting to quit. Quitting smoking is hard, but starting the conversation coupled with baby steps is a good starting point. Many patients have no desire to hear about any risk or any options for quitting until they are faced with major illness. As a nurse, advocating for quitting before this happens is important. I wanted my patients to set the date at the end, and then I would help them have everything in place before the day. I found leadership skills, and change management helped me a lot in this intervention. I have always believed the delivery is sometimes more impactful than the message. Giving patients time to process information, ask questions, discuss with family, or sit with it for a minute is essential to good quality care. Smoking is a major health concern. It is the leading cause of preventable death not only in America but in the world. Half of all smokers will die from smoking-related illnesses. An average of 1,300 people die from smoking-related illnesses every day. Smoking increases your risk of a host of diseases, including cardiovascular disease, stroke, respiratory illness, cancer, diabetes, dental issues, and so many more. It is tough to quit once a person starts. Most people who smoke would prefer not to. It can take up to 6 attempts before someone can successfully quit. And smoking is expensive. Healthcare costs, insurance surcharges, and the cost of cigarettes. When you smoke, you take away money for a habit that has no benefit to yourself or your family. Smoking is poison. Cigarettes are laced with chemicals. Patients who quit decrease their chances of disease drastically within even the first year. They can heal their lungs and live longer. Quitting also reduces risk of secondhand smoke to others and saves money. Smoking is a huge financial burden. Quitting means that they will breathe better and even smell better. Now, who wouldn't want to smell better? I chose this topic because knowing the risk, I can't imagine why anyone would smoke. I want to encourage young people, like my son, never to start. Furthermore, I have seen family members like my grandmother and uncle struggle with emphysema after many years of smoking. My grandmother could not walk from one room to the next without being short of breath. My mother, although never a smoker, grew up in a time when everyone smoked, and they did it in the house. My mom has slight emphysema and a chronic wheeze due to secondhand smoke. For this project, I focused on 2 patients. My first patient is my Aunt Rita, who has been smoking for a very long time. We did our sessions over the phone and through text. Rita hasn't suffered any major illnesses. However, she does have stomach ulcers, dental issues, as well as a chronic cough. None of these illnesses were enough to get her to consider quitting. I chose her because I fear she will continue to smoke even if it kills her, and statistically, that is a real possibility. She feels her stomach issues are just symptomatic problems, but ulcers can lead to serious bleeding and even death. When talking with Rita, I needed to discuss all her risks and all available options to help her quit. Technology has made it incredibly easy to find resources. When talking with Rita, I discovered she had not done any routine health screenings, no mammo, no colonoscopy, or blood work years ago. It's been years. And she's in her 60s. This was a good time to highlight the importance of routine screenings and how they're vital to catching cancer early. In regards to quitting smoking, she can easily download the free Quit Start app. Rita can call the 1-800-QUIT-NOW to find local resources. Rita is a mother, grandmother, and teacher. Quitting would be great for her health and will show her family she values her health and wants to be around for a long time. Rita does not smoke at school. She waits until she comes home. I suggested she not have cigarettes there at home or limit the amount. This way, she would have to wait until the next day when she got more. Rita printed my educational brochure and put it on her fridge to remind her of the things we spoke about. And I asked her to put it on her school bulletin as well. This will keep reminding her of the importance of quitting. My next patient is Cosimo Pici. It's my best friend's husband. He grew up in Italy. His mom, dad, and brother all smoke. Smoking is prevalent in southern Italy, and especially in southern Italy. He comes from Positano, which is in southern Italy. Smoking is so common, you could almost say it's cultural there. In 2016, the Italian government created a law that required graphic images on cigarettes to show the consequences of smoking in the hopes of deterring people from smoking. The Italian people remedied this by inventing cigarette package covers so they don't have to be reminded of the harmful effects of cigarettes. I'm getting off topic, but they do the same thing with seatbelts. They do not like to wear their seatbelts, so they have pieces that go into the seatbelt clasp to stop the alert noise. This way, they can avoid seatbelt and alert. Many Italians follow the same social norms, so being sensitive to his cultural norms was important when talking with him. I did most of my sessions with Cosimo at his home. Cosimo has tried to quit many times. The problem is his high-stress job. He's a restaurant owner, and a lot of his staff at his restaurant smoke. It is also very prevalent for restaurants that the staff are smokers. So he's around smoke every day. We discussed all the risks, and I gave him tips on how to quit. He was very, very skeptical of taking medications. He was more willing to try nicotine gum or a nicotine patch and behavioral counseling. I think if he initiated a no-smoking policy at the restaurant, this would help limit how many times staff could stop to smoke. Setting a rule that smoking has to be done only after the restaurant closes and off premises might help with the temptation. I did my last session with him at the restaurant, and I was able to talk to some of his staff about smoking cessation too. He put up the educational brochure in his office. While neither of my patients quit, the conversation has started, and they have the tips and tools to help patients succeed. The journey with Capella has been interesting. I've been a nurse for almost 20 years, and I never thought I would be able to finish school. I was petrified of research papers. However, it makes me emotional. It's been my goal to have a BSN behind my name, and I was determined to complete this. Sorry, I've been inspired by the many nurses I watched accomplish their BSN and more. I was tired of being scared and ready to set my mind on achieving this. Being a nurse for so long, I have loads of clinical knowledge. I'm a PICC nurse and was taught to follow infusion nurse standards. We practice by following the evidence. This ensures the highest and safest patient care. I knew the importance of evidence-based practice in regards to central lines, but I never realized how important it was for just about every part of nursing and healthcare. The last few months, I surprised myself by accomplishing things I never thought were possible. I've grown as a nurse during this time and acquired skills I didn't have before. I'm very proud of myself and hope to inspire my son, Ethan. I want him to see the sky's the limit when you put your mind to something. And that is the end of my presentation. I'm sorry. I'm emotional about this. And thank you. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.